Hi everyone, I'm Dave Mulven. I'm here with Alex Bianchi. You guys may know him as Doc on the basketball court. Been in the league since the very start. I think he has 4 championships.
Yeah.
Since the beginning.
Yeah.
So welcome. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thanks, sir.
Just gonna go through some questions with him. Give some information on his team this season, maybe compared to some teams in the past. First up, let's start with since you've played in both the A division and B division, and you've been the GM of a team in both. Can you just compare the difference between the two?
At the start, the A division, I think the B division today is what the A division was maybe 4 seasons ago. There's a lot of A division talent playing down in that league. I think the B division, you see a lot more defense being played. Maybe some of the players are a little bit older or not quite as springy as some of the guys that are playing in the A. So you're going to see a little bit more on the defensive end. In the A League, you have 5-6 guys on a team that can each put up 25, 30 points pretty much every night. When you're scoring 90 points a game, you don't really have to play much defense. You get to just kind of, do your thing. I mean, Shooters Club did it for 3 seasons. They just outscored everybody.
Yeah.
It's hard to score 100 points with a running clock, 40-minute running clock. So when you're averaging, 90-plus points a game, no defense needs to be played. So the B division now, though, even just comparing it even this season versus last season, everybody's picking up better and better players. The competition, we just played Hog Mob this last weekend, and they're a solid team.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a good team. They had a guy that's, I think, 6'10", I mean, probably one of the biggest guys I've ever played against. And the guards are good. Everybody is starting to kind of build their teams, which is nice to see. So.
Well, I think the B division, once they got your team, we knew you would raise the bar with the talent level. So everyone's just got to step up their game to try to compete.
Yeah, and that's what happened in the A division. I mean, every season it just kept getting better and better. It was. When we won it back with Allen and Durrell and those guys, I think that was the season that Shooters Club went undefeated, and then we beat them in the semifinals. And then the next season they came back with just a monster team, and they said, all right, well, we're not doing that anymore. And then that's when they won their 3 in a row, after that. And I think every year the bar was set to, well, how do we beat Shooters Club? How do we get there? How can we find a way? And then, that's when we brought on Corey Lemons, and that's when we won another one then. And just every year it just keeps getting better and better, which is just great to see.
The talent level in both divisions has gone through the roof.
And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And now it's nice that the B division, it used to be more kind of recreational. Now it's more competitive.
We're going to have to add a seat soon.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a great idea.
So, now, last season your team was called Doc's Old Guys All-Stars.
Yeah.
And, I mean, throughout the regular season, you guys struggled. I mean, you could probably call it a disappointing regular season.
Absolutely.
You guys
100%.
stepped it up in the playoffs. I think you won
100%.
at least 2 playoff games?
Yeah. We went and then we lost in the semifinals to J Squad.
Okay.
So.
And, J Squad went on to win the championship.
Yep.
Now this season, you guys got off to a very hot start. Mercy ruling the first game, the Monstars, I believe it was. Then you ran into Delaware, second game. I don't think you guys. I think they surprised you guys a little bit.
They did. They hit. They hit very, very well. The first half, they shot the lights out, and I'm not sure how, because they were shooting against the sun on that side of the court. Somehow they were hitting, because then when we went to shoot on that side of the court, we couldn't even make foul shots. I mean, it was just not a good game for us. They're a solid team, Their big man,
Bill,
yeah. He's no joke. I mean, not many people can push Gavin around, and he was pushing Gavin around pretty good. And we even had Dave, there, who's got the athleticism and the jump, and I mean, he was pretty much having his way. So, and their guards are good. They're aggressive. They play good, good defense. Great team ball. I think they're a great team. So yeah, we were a little bit surprised at how that turned out. We weren't too happy with the way we played. But that's no excuse. I mean, you got to come ready to play every game. So whether or not you're shooting well, that's irrelevant, or whether the sun is in your eyes, or there's no excuse. I mean, they beat us.
Now I'll get to your third game of the season in a minute, but just compare last season your guys' team to this season's team.
We're a little bit younger. We kept a core. Gavin, Allen, Pete, and myself. I kept that same core players, and I tried to improve on the other positions. And Gavin really is not a true center. He's a big three or a small four. That is his true position, and so we're kind of pushing him to play center last year, and that's just not his natural position. So that's when we picked up Dave Henninger, who's really probably the most athletic big man that you can find.
Yeah, and plays smart basketball.
Great basketball, sets screens. I mean, there's just nothing wrong with his game. We lost Joe Pirani, so we needed a true point guard. We picked up Lamont, who's quick. He has all the speed. He's younger. He can keep up with some of the other quick guys in the league.
Right.
But I'm getting a little bit older in my years, so I can't really keep up with some of those guys like I used to. So we had to improve on that position. Mike Jones, who's just a great kind of gel guy. He, can do a little bit of the dirty work. He sets the screens. He plays the defense. He gets the rebounds. So I tried to improve on every position. And then we got a couple of young guys, Mike Matthews and Victoria, who just came back from playing in Italy. That adds a little bit more athleticism to us, so that we can kind of compete with some of the younger teams that are out there.
Now you just mentioned you guys got some more youth, so that frees you up from having to guard one of the better players out there.
Exactly.
So then that saves your legs. So late in the game, if you need to hit a big shot, maybe to win the game, you're able to do that.
Yeah, look, it's a team game. I didn't, if you see the number of shots I've been taking, I'm not taking a lot of shots anymore during the games.
Notes down. I think it was only 7 last game.
7 shots, and,
Yep.
and I don't need to. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are doing, and my goal to come into this season was to, get a bunch of assists. Now, we're going to work on keeping those stats a little bit better, but that's okay. Again, so as a team, you have to have 5 guys on the floor that at the end can take a shot, and the ball bounced the right way. I followed in for the rebound, and I I got the shot off.
Now, in case obviously everyone wasn't at that game. I wasn't even at that game, so I got to hear about it. I think we actually got the shot on video. So just talk me through that game, and especially the last 30 seconds or so.
The spark plug was really, I'll tell you, in the second half. They're a good team. We were having a problem with their big man. They moved the ball extremely well. Hogma, I mean, the whole, like when you're in high school and they say, I want 10 passes before I take a shot. They really stick to that. I mean, they passed the ball on the perimeter, and we were running zone against them because we didn't have Dave. So we wanted to try to, make them shoot from the outside more and try to help out on the inside with their big man. So they moved the ball well. They were really, they were staying with it. I think they were up at the half. And then in the second half, Lamont and Allen really just kind of spark plugged our, getting ahead a few points and coming back. I think we were down probably as like 12 or 14 or something at some point. Then they hit a couple big shots, played some defense, got back into it. We had a 7-point lead going into with a minute left in the game, and we almost had a collapse. They hit 2 big 3-pointers on consecutive possessions. We fouled one of their players. We threw the ball away. They hit another couple free throws at the end, and they go up 1 point. And then coming back down, I think it was Mike Jones took it up for a layup. It came off the rim. I think their big man might have tipped it back, and coming across the middle of the lane, I got it, turned around, faded away, and hit it with like a second left, and
It must have been a good feeling.
Old guy has a little bit left in the tank. I mean, maybe I can't put up 30 points every game anymore, but it's just a matter of being at the right place at the right time, and it fell. And any player that's, I'm more of a shooter than anything else. So anybody that's a shooter knows that even if you miss 5, that 6th one's going to go in at some point. And that's all it was. I mean, but honestly, it was, I think Allen and Lamont really just spark plugged our comeback, from being down.
And I'm going to talk to you about Allen in a minute, but first, I wanted to talk about Gavin. He's been struggling this season.
Gavin is finding his way. Gavin is finding his way. Look, he's no longer, he doesn't need to be the center on the team anymore. I've known Gavin for a very long time, and he is, and was, especially in his prime, one of the best players I've ever played against, period, hands down. Unstoppable in his prime. And that's why I call this Doc's Old Guy All-Stars last year, because a lot of us are older and we maybe aren't in the best shape anymore, and then we have injuries and that sort of thing. But Gavin's getting there. I wouldn't sleep on him too much, because I think by the end of the season he's going to be the old Gavin that we used to know.
He's been talking about changing his game back to how he used to play. He's coming in. It's a little hard to play on the perimeter if you're getting tired, so it's a lot easier to go down low and get yourself stationary and get the ball.
You get winded a little bit more if you're not in the shape that you used to be in. But he's getting there.
Yeah, he's come a long way since
he's super competitive.
Beginning of last season.
Super competitive guy. I mean, he wants it more than probably anybody else. And I think you're going to see. Don't nap on Gavin. He's there. I have all the confidence in the world that he'll be the Gavin that we know.
So I just touched on how, Gavin, very good season last season. This season his numbers are down a little bit. But let's go the complete opposite direction. Allen this season.
Yeah.
Last season, maybe he was just going with the old guy's name. But this season, right now he's 3rd in efficiency. I think he's somewhere around averaging like 15 points a game.
And like 15 rebounds, or 12 rebounds.
His numbers are way up.
He's been playing a lot more. I think his diet has changed a little bit, so he's a little lighter than he was. Look, it doesn't matter if you're 38 or 42 or whatever. I mean, a lot of what happens as we get a little older is we don't play as much, and so you don't have the wind and you don't have the legs like you did, and by switching some things around, you get in better shape, and you're seeing it. I mean, that's the Allen that I know. That's the Allen that won championship with us.
A lot of the players who weren't around back then, Allen was almost unstoppable about 3 years ago.
I mean, he had a game where he had 10 or 12 3-pointers. I mean, they don't realize he's a phenomenal 3-point shooter, and he just doesn't need to now because we have so many other shooters on the team. But Allen knows where to stand. He's one of those guys that just knows the game just really, really well. He knows where to stand. He gets the little tip-ins. He knows where the ball's bouncing off the rim. I don't know how. Kind of like that Dennis Rodman where you just know where to stand. He's a scorer. He can score when he wants to. He's efficient. He doesn't turn the ball over. He does. Yeah, he has kind of the whole package. I think he just needed to work on getting in a little bit better game shape. And once he did, you're seeing the results. He's the Allen that we used to know.
He's playing MVP type basketball right now.
Absolutely.
Now, I have to ask you a question. The first game of the season, Gavin didn't play. He was coming off an ankle injury. Dave did play. Second game of the season, right now, your only loss. They both played together. And then this past game, there's no Dave, so just Gavin. You guys got another win. So your only loss is when they were both in the game. Is it going to be a problem them playing together?
I don't think so. I think that's a fluke thing. Again, there were other factors. Our problem that game, we had them both in. They just had a really good big man that played well.
If you do want to cut one of them, the faculty is looking to pick up another big
No, we're not cutting that.
So, if we find it being an issue, if your team, if they can't coexist, the faculty would be okay with taking one of them off your hands.
As you should be, but no, I think we're good. I think we're going to keep everybody along here.
So your last win, I'm just going to go back to it for the last time, but you hit the game winner. How bad do you think Team Doc needed that win?
Oh, big time. Look, with the team that we have together, with the amount of talent that we have on our team, We have the speed, we have the height, we have the size, we have all those things together. The only thing we don't have is that we haven't played together as a team. And that comes with time, and that's why like J Squad is so good. It's a well-oiled machine. They play great team ball. That's part of why Drunk Monkeys in the A is so good. They find a way to win. They play good team ball, and Blue Devils, the old Blue Devils where Henninger used to play with. They play great team ball. If you play well as a team, you don't have to have the best team in the world. You're going to win games. Yeah. And that's the only thing that we're still lacking. We're still finding our way. Dave doesn't know where Gavin wants the ball. Gavin doesn't know where Dave wants the ball. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way. Do I need to shoot more? Do I need to shoot less? Do I need to pass it off? So that's going to come throughout the season. We definitely need that one. I mean, we can't go down 1-2 with the team that we put together. I mean, that's unacceptable for me at least.
I mean, you guys want to be in a position at the end of the season where you either have a first-round bye or you're playing against a weaker team in the beginning.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We don't want to have to play like the first seed team, the third seed team, our first couple rounds. I mean, that's kind of what happened last year. Last year we played, I think we played Hot Shots, and then we played in the mix, right? Yes. Who was ranked? I think Hot Shots was 6. In the mix was 3. And then J Squad as our third round. I mean, any one of those teams could have won the championship. Yeah. So you're stuck playing 3 teams that are all what now? Eventually, if you're going to win the championship, you got to beat those teams anyway. But it's nice to have a little bit easier first round or a bye, to kind of get you in. And we want to try to position ourselves, that way a little bit better than we did last year.
Yeah. So right now, you guys sit at 2-1. We're going into week 4. You've played Delaware. The team I play on, the faculty's played Delaware. Both lost to them. Our teams both meet in 2 weeks.
Can't wait.
What's your prediction for that game?
We're going to come to play.
Docs win big?
Look, we're going to come to play. If you guys have all your players, and that's always a big if in this league.
Or if Mark Lennon even shows up on time, that's even a bigger if.
Again, just tell him the game is at 4 o'clock instead of 4:30. We're good.
I think you even have to go as early as 3 now because he's getting on to it.
Possibly. It worked though. It worked for us one game. Look, if you guys have all your players and we have all our players, I think it's a great game. I think it's going to be a good game. I know you guys have some injuries, and I think John's.
John's out. John's out for 5 weeks.
That's a big
broken
loss.
toe.
That's
do you even need your little toe? I mean, you're done. Do you even need your little toe?
You can wrap it up and take some Motrin.
We just need to toughen John up a little bit, but
possibly. If you guys have your team there, I think it's a good game. If you guys now with missing John, if you're missing any of your other kind of key players, it's going to be tough. Because I know we should have our team there, so I think we can give you guys a pretty good run.
So outside of obviously your team, give me out of the teams that obviously you haven't seen them all play. We have a lot of new teams, but you're probably pretty familiar with a lot of them. Give me your top 3 teams outside of Team Delaware.
You got to put J Squad up there. They're the champs. Until we beat them, I'm not going to take them out of the top 3. And honestly, I really think Delaware is just a good team. I think Hog Mob's a really good team as well. To have to put those 3, it's a tough call between Delaware and Hog Mob. I think Delaware may play a little bit better team game, and I think their big man, I think he's really, really good. I was really impressed.
Yeah, he is.
Not to say that the big man on Hog Mob isn't, because he's very athletic. I don't think he hit a lot of his free throws. I think that's going to hurt you.
Well, I think as a team they were 1 for 15.
Yeah, I think because of that, I would put Delaware above them, and I would still, look, they're the defending champs. I got to stick J Squad still up in that top 3 role as well. But I think you guys with the full team, you guys are up there too. You guys compete. I don't know a lot of the other teams.
Well, the only game we've lost is the one I didn't go to. So
Well,
that was
and
first
that-
game
and
of the
that
season.
answers that.
We lost in overtime.
Yeah,
so
well, that answers that. I mean, I think if you show up and you give quality minutes and
yeah, I'm averaging about 4.5 minutes per game, and I think 1 assist and probably 0.7 points per game right now.
well, if you boost
So-
that up to 8, you're going to get at least 4 or 5 points a game. That's a winning season.
No, because of my coaching skills on the sideline is why we've been winning these games lately.
You're more like a player coach.
That's I had to accept a different role this season.
Well, hey, everybody has to do that at some point. But yeah, but it's exciting. It's great to watch. The league has gotten better. Every season, it's getting better. Even the B League is now, more of like a lower A league, which is just.
It's
fun.
a lot of fun out there.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I appreciate you coming on today.
Yeah,
I know how
thanks for
busy
having
you
me.
are.
Yeah.
Squeeze me in the middle of the day. I appreciate it.
No problem. Hey,
Thanks
for
a lot.
having me.
Yeah. So we look forward to going into almost the midway point of the season, and a lot of great games coming up. But yeah, good luck to
Keep
Team
going.
Doc on the season.
Keep going. We're not the old guys anymore.
No, we drop that off.
All right.